Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited. Upgraded Sling 4 could be star of Oshkosh 2018. Former race pilot fatally injured in Reno-Stead airport accident. And Boeing says Falcon Heavy can't compete with SLS. Hello, I'm Laura Hutson. It's May 7th, and this is Airborne Unlimited. With 76 days to go before Oshkosh 18, we're seeing signs that this could be one of the most exciting air ventures in years. With that in mind, we're going to be featuring some of the more intriguing OSHStars that have the potential to make this year particularly exciting. The first on our list is a much upgraded Sling 4 to be powered by the new Rotax 915 IS. Already impressive with the Rotax 914 power, the Sling 4 is one of the most affordable four-place kits currently available. The airplane factory's Matt Lignaski tells Airborne that the airframe is being upgraded to take advantage of the extra capability offered by the 141 horsepower turbocharged engine. Cruise figures are expected to hover around 140 knots, despite the aircraft's fixed gear, while increases in useful load and range are expected. There will be changes in the wing structure and profile, as well as some beefing up of other structures to deal with the extra power. Performance with the Rotax 914 during our previous test flights showed the machine to be anything but anemic, even with 3 people and a camera gear on board on a warm California afternoon. So the addition of extra horsepower and an airframe built to take advantage of the new power plant looks to hold huge promise for 2018. After the break, Air Force selects locations for B-21 aircraft.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, Airborne Unmanned, the AMA Drone Report, our website or podcast, just email to news-by@aero-news.net. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. The Air Force has announced that the B-21 Raider will replace the B-1 Lancer and B-2 Spirit aircraft at 3 existing bomber bases beginning in the mid-2020s. The Air Force selected Dyess Air Force Base, Texas, Ellsworth Air Force Base, South Dakota, and Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri, as reasonable alternatives to host the new B-21 aircraft. Using current bomber bases will minimize operational impact, reduce overhead, and maximize reuse of facilities and minimize cost, Air Force officials said. The mother of one of the victims of the Parkland, Florida school shooter has been given a break on a flight she chartered from New York to Florida after her son was killed in the shooting. Linda Schulman had tried to get a commercial flight from New York to South Florida, but was told by every airline that there were no seats available. She turned to Talon Air, knowing that such a charter flight would be very expensive. But she didn't count on a bill totaling $36,458 for the flight and deadhead return to New York. Citing the growing shortage of pilots over the next few years, the Army and Navy Academy is launching a 4-year aviation training program in the 2018-2019 school year, designed to stimulate interest in an aviation career on the part of high school-age cadets and prepare them to pursue further training after graduating. Lockheed Martin recently delivered the final two C-130J-30 Super Hercules airlifters, assigned to the U.S. Air Force installation at Yokota Air Base in Japan. These C-130J-30s are flown by the 36 Airlift Squadron crews at Yokota, and the new aircraft recapitalized the unit's older C-130H fleet. The C-130Js are used to support critical peacekeeping and contingency operations in the Western Pacific region, including cargo delivery, troop transport, airdrop, and aeromedical missions. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. A veteran race pilot was fatally injured last Tuesday evening when the plane he was flying flipped over after landing at Reno-Stead Airport. The pilot was 80-year-old John Parker. His exact cause of death has not yet been determined. The accident involving the Thunder Mustang was confirmed by FAA spokesperson Ian Greger, who said Parker was the only person on board the aircraft. Parker participated in the Reno Air races for more than 40 years. He competed in the unlimited Formula One in sport class. Over the years, he won 3 gold medals in Formula One and also took 1 gold in sport class. His aviation career spanned decades, having flown for the Air Force and American Airlines before starting American Air Racing in 1967. Reno-Stead spokesperson Brian Colpin said that Parker was well known at the airport. After these messages, Boeing says Falcon Heavy can't compete with SLS.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight 4-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
Welcome back. SpaceX reached a significant milestone in February when it successfully launched the Falcon Heavy rocket and recovered 2 of its 3 boosters. But Boeing apparently was not particularly impressed. On a website built by Boeing called Watch Us Fly, the aerospace giant says the Falcon Heavy is too small to be effective in NASA's deep space exploration program. Boeing says that when it's operational, the SLS will be the most powerful rocket ever built. The Boeing site cites a comparison by NASA's Bill Gerstenmaier, who did a side-by-side comparison of the SLS and Big Falcon rocket at a NASA Advisory Council meeting in March. Gerstenmaier said that the SLS would have some unique capabilities that the BFR does not have, but could not articulate why NASA needed the larger rocket, because the agency has not yet built anything that would require those capabilities. Still, Falcon Heavy has flown. SLS will likely not launch until at least the mid-2020s and will cost several $billions. The SpaceX rocket will cost considerably less. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, alternating with Airborne Unmanned on Tuesday and the AMA Drone Report each Thursday. Additional breaking news bulletins may be posted for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. We'll see you tomorrow.